This work session, regular meeting of the Town Council is called to order. In accordance with Section 5 of the Open Public Meeting Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, be advised that adequate notice of this work session, regular meeting of the Township Council of the Township of Franklin, County of Somerset, was made by posting on the bulletin board at the municipal complex and transmitted to the officially designated newspapers a list of dates annually indicating that this work session regular meeting would take place at the Franklin Township Municipal Complex at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, November 25th, 2014. In addition, a copy of this notice is and has been available to the public and is on file in the office of the municipal clerk. Let us stand to say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. O God, the Creator and Redeemer of all the faithful, hear our prayer, and through thy infinite love and mercy, graciously grant us the strength and power in our thoughts and decisions to be for the benefit of all people at all times. Amen. Okay, well, Emery, please call the roll.
Councilman Chase?
Here.
Councilwoman Francois? Councilman Kramer?
Yes.
Mayor Levine? Councilman Prasad? Deputy Mayor Regan?
Here.
Councilwoman Sherman?
Here.
Councilman Vasanella?
Here.
Councilman Wright?
Thank you. All right, so the meeting tonight, the agenda and the copy of the ordinances are on the side if folks want to have it to look at as we go through the meeting. The next item on the agenda is commendations and proclamations, and that's going to be one for the Environmental Commission Environmental Stewardship Award, and I'll present that with Councilman Chase. But the question is, who has it? Who has it? Anne-Marie. Oh, they have it.
Oh,
Okay.
They're plaques. Hello, Carl. The bigger ones.
oh, nice.
Is it a regular proclamation?
Yeah, I was just going to say there should be a regular proclamation. What? Emery?
Anne-Marie?
What?
Is there a regular proclamation?
No, it's just what they have.
Okay, all right, so Ted, that's all you.
So that's the official proclamation.
It's actually all arms.
Oh, it actually is.
But he's presenting it to you.
Oh,
No, no, no.
nice.
I was the TED. The first year they had it. Literally, we launched this was one of the numerous things we did here. Before TED, I was the pre-TED. Pre-TED, I was the point guy for environmental. Was out with cheat sheet problem. They had no liaison. 2 years later, he took that TED.
There's 2 ons.
That's what confuses everybody, yeah.
So everything went well, late but well.
I heard it was late. That's great, thank you. Yeah, I know, I heard.
What are you doing?
Okay, that's better. Good evening, I'm Arnold Vernick, Chairman of the Environmental Commission. We have for, 7 years now, been awarding a stewardship award to an organization or corporation and to an individual for outstanding contributions to the environment of Franklin Township. In the past, we've honored some terrific people and organizations that have contributed to the betterment of our township. The organization award this year is being presented to Rutgers Preparatory School based on their environmental achievement as documented by the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection. These achievements include participation in the Rutgers Green Purchasing Program while it was active, receiving LEED certification. That's L-E-E-D. I don't know if anyone's all familiar with that, but it's quite a good certification for their most recently constructed building, which is for their environmental awareness and concern. They also have been involved in various energy management programs on their campus, including recent landscaping, heating, cooling, and lighting projects. And these have reduced their energy use by over 20%. They have a fully designed recycling and composting program in their dining facility, which is developed and organized by their faculty and students, and this has resulted in a 40% reduction in their waste stream. They are a member of the U.S. Green Building Council. They have a consistent purchasing of pollution credits through the efforts of their student clubs. And lastly, they offer an advanced placement environmental science course, which is one of the first of its kind and is a priority in their curriculum. It's a pleasure to present this award to them. I understand that Stephen Loy, the headmaster of Rutgers Prep, are they here tonight?
Yeah.
This is Marcus Vizito. Marcus, our student council president. Peter Richards, head chair of campus. And this is and Kevin is in charge of the
Very nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Let me give you a box to go with this.
Congratulations.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm with you.
Our next award is for individual achievement in the environmental field. And this award is being presented to Dr. Theodore Chase.
Wow.
That's right.
Typically, this award has gone in the past to someone that's not actively involved in the township government. But this year, the accomplishments of the individual are so compelling that the Environmental Commission unanimously decided to break that pattern. We could not think of anyone in the township that is more deserving of this award.
Oh.
We already
Don't
gave
be
it to
so
him last time. To do this presentation, I asked Ted for some background information, and he sent me his 3-page resume. So we could be here all night going over all those accomplishments and his service.
That was a summary.
But I'll limit my summation to just his achievements in public service. Suffice it to say that he is a professor emeritus at Rutgers University, Cook College. He taught biochemistry and microbiology in various capacities for 38 years, and actually is still teaching a graduate course in microbial biochemistry. But to concentrate on his public service, I just want to summarize what he's done for this township. His first service was on the Board of Zoning Adjustment, where he, in the 80s, where he was chairman for about 3 years. He served on the Energy Commission of Franklin Township in the early 80s. Mostly, he's been involved with the Planning Board for 19 years, since 1996. He was chair for 6 years. He's now the council liaison. With the Environmental Commission, that I'm very aware of course, he also has served 19 years, since 1996. And he was active member to 2009, and now he's the council liaison. He was involved in the Raritan Basin Watershed Project from 1999 to 2004, the Raritan Basin Watershed Alliance from 2004 to the present. He's been on the Open Space Advisory Committee of Franklin Township for 9 years, from 2001 to 2009, is now the council liaison. He's chair of the Green Team for Sustainable Jersey Certification since 2010. I got to go to the next page. Of course, he's a councilman since 2009, and he has served as the council liaison to the Environmental Commission, the Historic Preservation Commission, and the Open Space Committee. And lastly, he's the Franklin Township representative to Middlesex County Lower Raritan Water Resource Association, and an alternate to the Central Jersey Transportation Forum and the Raritan Millstone Flood Control Commission. The one other thing that I have to mention, what most people don't know about Ted, that he served as the Secretary of the Environmental Commission for a number of years while he was a member. When he was elected to the council in 2009, he became the liaison to the Environmental Commission, and he volunteered to continue to serve as secretary, and he's done so for 5 years, which to me is just above and beyond the call of duty. Suffice it to say that we on the commission are extremely indebted to Ted for all of his contributions over the years. It's really a great pleasure to present this to you, Ted.
That's right.
Proudly.
I'm sure the bill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I hope I don't have to make a speech.
Oh, wait a minute.
Okay. You get it.
Well, we have still lots to do in Franklin Township. We still have lots to do in Franklin Township. We could acquire more open space. I'm particularly proud of the management of our open space that's ongoing, as well as those who make sure that we don't build too many soccer fields on our open space. And I'm also very interested in the cleanups that we do every year. We clean up along one of our township streams. Fortunately, our major streams really run through protected woodland and don't get too messed up, so we do Seeley's Brook and Mile Run, but also participated in a DEP cleanup on Blackwell's Mills Road. And I mean really participated, not like the mayor who came to give a speech. But so, thank you again very much for this. As I say, I don't think I've done nearly as much as John Luce has done over the years and continues to do in the Canal Commission.
I just want to take this moment to thank the Environmental Commission Chair for their work in making the presentation to Rutgers on behalf of the work in being a good customer and resident and employee here in town, being conscious of what they do. And then, of course, to our own Councilman Ted Chase, who really is the leader in our council relative to environmental and planning issues. We all look for him for his leadership and his guidance that he provides us. So it's a well-deserved award.
Cook and bottle washer.
Oh, all right.
All right, so that moves us along to item 6 on our agenda, which is the mayor's report. The mayor did speak to me and indicated that he would be late tonight. He had some conflicts running with some meetings, and that when he arrives, naturally he'll give his mayor's report at that time. which then leads us to number 7, which is the Deputy Mayor's report. Tonight really will be relatively short. So our next meeting is actually Thursday, December 11th, which is slightly different than on normal Tuesday, and that's because on Tuesday, December 9th, is the Board of Ed referendum that will occur. So our next meeting will be Thursday, December 11th, here in Council Chambers, 7 p.m., and that will also be the only meeting for the month of December. So that's it on the meeting agenda. And then really at this time, I just want to take this opportunity to wish all our residents and citizens of the town a very happy Thanksgiving. This really is an American holiday that we all get to enjoy, regardless of where we have come from and what religion we are. It's based in our American tradition upon the arrival of the pilgrims here. So it really is an opportunity for everyone, and hopefully the snow will come early and pass real fast on Wednesday and will not cause significant issues for those traveling. But on that day, hopefully everybody will be able to enjoy the day either with their families or in doing service for others that day. And that is the Deputy Mayor's report. So now we move on to item 8, which is the public discussion. So do I have a motion to open the meeting for public discussion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. This meeting is open for public discussion on any item of interest which does not have a public hearing of its own. Anyone interested in speaking, please raise your hand, and when recognized, give your name and address. As I mentioned before, there are 4 ordinances that we will introduce later tonight, so if you want to speak specifically on that, that would be the time. This is for items not associated with those and of general interest.
Mr. Deputy Mayor,
Yes.
those are actually first readings, so they
Oh,
won't.
first readings, I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, so, thank you. All right, so, for those who do want to speak, if you just raise your hand, and then I'll recognize you, and then you can come to the table, Sir? You can just come up to the podium. There's a speaker there. Speak about 4 inches from the mic. Say your name and your address, and then your comments.
Greetings all. My name is Walt Bodner.
Just raise it a little.
Greetings all. My name is Walt Bodner, and I currently reside at 86 Welsh's Lane in East Millstone. I'm here basically for the, I guess, the initial presentation of the amendment to the noise code. And with the assistance of one of the councilmen, Mr. Vasanella, about a year and a half ago, I purchased the property, and unfortunately, I've discovered that my immediate neighbor has been utilizing a gas generator, basically for primary electrical across the board. In other words, he's off the grid. Needless to say, the incessant running day and night, hours upon end, my house actually shakes from the generator itself. And needless to say, my quality of life has greatly been affected. It doesn't necessarily affect only me. There are 2 other neighbors that adjoin to me. We are at a dead-end road, and it's the last house, 92 Welsh's. The individual, again, utilizes this gas generator with absolutely no regard to any of the neighbors. And, it's been, quite frankly, an agonizing year and a half. And that's pretty much all in a nutshell.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, excuse me, are you on the flag lot, or are you on the one right on Welch's?
I am on Welsh's, on the right side as you're going down. It's a dead end. There's
Right.
92, 86 is on the right side.
So you're the second to last house, and you're on
Second to
the...
house, yes, and right behind me, there's another house.
Right,
Those are the
okay.
Drewskis.
I was just, yes.
Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak, please? Yes, ma'am? Just come up to the microphone, bring it to about 4 inches from your mouth, and say your name and address, please.
Penny Condulis, 83 Gregory Lane.
Bring the mic down a little lower. There you go.
83 Gregory Lane, Franklin Park, New Jersey. There's a public hearing notice signed for Catalpa Park at the corner of Old Fleet Road and South Middlebush Road, and we kind of hope that maybe you guys would have it removed so that if anything important does come, we will notice and people just won't take a blind eye and ignore it. That's it.
Thank you.
So what you're telling us is we're in violation of our own sign ordinance.
Actually, no.
So, Mr. Vornlacker, I assume that you'll take the action item to have that taken down. Thank you very much.
You said we're not-
I need a new mic.
Okay,
Actually, no.
Actually, yes.
all right. Is there anyone else who would like to address council? Okay, so, all right, so I need a motion to close.
Oh. Mr. Deputy Mayor, seeing no one coming forward for public discussion, I move that the public discussion be closed.
Seconded?
Second. Thank you. Okay. All right, so at this point, we are moving on to council comments, and I will start with Councilwoman Sherman, please.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. Just a couple of quick things. Many of us have been at the League of Municipalities that was running last week from Tuesday through Thursday, and I attended the event as I always do, and as usual have come back with some wonderful ideas, one of which I hope will bring some new ideas for Franklin as far as marketing our community as a destination. So the seminar I attended happened to have the Director of Tourism for New Jersey, and guess what? He lives in Franklin. So he was very enthusiastic and very interested, and we're going to set up a meeting with the Township manager and see what we can do there's lots of money in tourism, billions of dollars for the state. And so Franklin has so many attributes, and we just need to get it out there. We have the hotels, and hopefully, I've no doubt, we can become a destination down the road. So the other thing I just want to touch base on is the school referendum that's coming up. I just want to share a point. I know that many people, especially the people in the adult communities, and I have almost every one of the adult communities in my ward, and I know a lot of the people in the communities I service, whatever their needs are, but I know a lot of them are very concerned about the increase in taxes that a new school will bring. There was a presentation at one of the adult communities by the Board of Education. There is going to be a growth of the Summerfield's development is going to bring in a lot of children. About 700 children are coming into Franklin. We already have children in trailers in many of our schools. You can't just keep kids in trailers. There's a time frame, and eventually they'll have to just make classes bigger. And the education will become a bigger problem because the class size will not be optimal. Well, one of the people at that event brought up a point. I just want to share it with you. I'm not going to obviously advocate for one position or the other, but there's a flip side to the tax issue. If Franklin's school reputation is damaged by the fact that the class sizes are large and it becomes an issue, the younger people will move out of Franklin. They will not stay here to educate their children. And when you start losing that kind of base, you will start losing people coming in. The value of the houses could potentially go down. And then as a result of that, the taxes overall would go up because the budget needs to be covered. So it's really a false economy to think that you will not pay higher taxes if we don't keep our school system up to the position that it should be to educate our children, it could boomerang on us. So I just want to make you aware there's a downside to not, really considering and looking at all the facts. There's some great need in our town, and it will only get bigger because we are a town that's growing. So that's my thoughts with regard to that. And the last thing, obviously, is to wish everyone a happy and healthy and a safe Thanksgiving. Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Councilwoman Sherman. Councilman Vasanella?
Yes, happy Thanksgiving. Just mention, last Friday, I think it was, Councilman Kramer, myself, were here helping representatives from the Sierra Leone community do a somewhat of a press conference informational session updating all of the public, and especially geared to provide information for the many members of the West African community that reside here in Franklin and surrounding communities. About 6 weeks ago, we had an initial one. This one was a lot more about specific information and updates. List is too long to go through, but we had very interesting speakers, key representatives specifically working directly for the President of Sierra Leone and other high-ranking officials to just do what they could to update, to talk a little bit about what's going on, what isn't going on, and try to give some information to get rid of the myths out there and to help people feel a little bit more, at least aware of what's going on over there. And it's an uphill battle, and it's still a long battle, but things are getting better, at least in general. And in this country, obviously, it seems like so far the precautions that we've taken, although not everybody agrees with all of them, that in general they finally seem to be running smooth, and anything could happen, but things seem well under control here. The bigger issue is the ripple effect of the economy and obviously what it's doing to the culture and just the morale in West African countries, especially Sierra Leone and Guinea and Liberia, which are well represented in our area here by thousands of residents, many of them that have just come in the last several years from those countries. Anyway, thank Fody Manzare and a list of other people, and Councilman Kramer and Manager Vornlacher for helping us get this together in somewhat of a quick fashion. Other than that, I just wanted to mention, although I don't agree with him 100%, I am so inspired by the passion that I've seen Councilman Chase show in his many years of service and everything environmental. When I was on council the first, I think, 3 years before he came on, I got on the Historical Commission and the Environmental Commission and the Open Space Commission. As much as I love those entities, I know the work involved, and I was very happy Councilman Chase, Dr. Chase, got on the council, because the time and energy and the knowledge, the vast experience that he brings to those committees, I knew would do exactly what a liaison is supposed to do, and obviously then some. So thank you, Ted, for your service, and that's about it. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Councilman Vasanella. Continuing moving to Councilman Chase, please.
Well, I too was at the League of Municipalities meeting. I heard some of what other towns have done, those that have been particularly successful doing actions for sustainable Jersey to achieve higher levels of certification, which is something that we have to work on in the coming year. And I might also mention that the coming year is time to revise our master plan. And while I don't expect there'll be any major changes in it, it's a good opportunity to hear from the people of the town as to what they think we should have in our master plan, have what we call community visioning sessions. Also heard about new actions that Sustainable Jersey has introduced or is about to introduce. I went to a session on COA, Council for Affordable Housing. This session was even more at sea than it perhaps had expected to be, since even the COA board refused to did not approve the latest plan. As you may or may not know, what happens is every few years they adopt a plan for all of the municipalities to do their fair share of affordable housing, and then somebody sues, and after about 4 years in the courts say, no, that plan isn't right, you got to go back and do it over again. And where the latest do-over was so arbitrary and capricious, as our Director of Planning has studied and wrote extensive comments in about this, that even the COA board itself wouldn't adopt it. So we don't really know what's going to happen. Our last affordable housing plan was certified, and so we are as protected as anybody can be, but we don't know how protected that is. We do have a plan, and of course, we've been building a number of apartment buildings in the redevelopment zone. So we have been developing affordable housing. And finally, I went to a session on tree pruning. And of course, this was just the utilities telling us how they prune trees to protect our power lines, but there are people in the township who are very concerned with how bad the trees are left looking by vigorous pruning every 4 years, and we would like to persuade the Board of Public Utilities to adopt a rule saying that in historic zones and along the Millstone Valley Scenic Byway that they prune less extensively, even if they have to do it more often. So, thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. Mr. Mayor, I guess we'll get to speak eventually.
Thank you, Councilman Chase. Yes, you will. So we'll move on to Councilman Kramer, please.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. I too was at the League. Very briefly attended one session with Councilman Chase that he didn't mention, which talked about how the various entities in town, mainly council and the school board, but also perhaps the fire districts and other government entities such as Steward's Authority, could get together for shared services, meeting regularly, and coming up with things we could do, such as entering one contract for our electric bills, one contract for our gas bill, so that we have more clout when we're bargaining for that. So I would be looking forward to us looking for that in the near future. There will be a new board coming on, school board, and we may be able to work well with them. I went to another session about a way to make our veterans more aware of their benefits at minimal cost to the town. And then a number of sessions that are somewhat disturbing but an awakening to us, that the model, the business model has changed. I heard about this last year. I heard about it more this year. The idea of the big office building near the highway is a thing of the 80s and 90s. Technology has made them less desirable, and there were suggestions at the League as to how we need to transform the town for the future, that the empty buildings are not a result of the recent recession, but as a result of the change in the market. And the manager also went to similar sessions. Our planner was at the session, so we can, I think there's opportunities there for us. Thank you, Mr. Vasanella, for mentioning the press conference on Ebola. I won't go on about that. Congratulations to Mr. Chase for his award, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman Kramer. All right, at this point, Mayor Levine has joined us, so I'll turn to him for his comments, please.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. Just as a reminder, on December 9th, I hope I have the day right, is the Board of Education election, well, not an election, referendum on the new school and fixing up of the old schools. And, yes, at the league also, that went well, learned a thing or two, so I won't elaborate on that either. And just a happy Thanksgiving to all, and my personal thank you to the Deputy Mayor for stepping in on my behalf today. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just brief comment, really just to, first again, congratulate Councilman Chase on receiving his award from the Environmental Commission. Then secondly, just really in support of Councilwoman Sherman's comments on the points that she mentioned about the referendum and how critical of a vote it is, and that we all should be mindful of, families are really the foundation of our township. And for most families, education is a very important factor in where they choose to live. So for us, it is a very important referendum to come out to vote. So I thank Councilwoman Sherman for her comments and points brought out. All right, so at that point, this brings us to item number 10 on the agenda, which is Township Manager's Report.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. I just have one thing to report that I think is of interest to not only council but also members of the public. And there had been discussion, as you recall, several months ago about the need for the installation of a fence in Middlebush Park along certain properties at the end of Gauguin Way. I just would like to report that that fence installation is complete. It was completed this week. They're still working out some bugs with the gate, but the fence is in, so that is one part of the work that was to be done to make the screening of those properties better than what existed currently prior to the fence installation, and there will be tree plantings in the spring. And other than that, I have nothing else to report, sir.
So no prediction on the weather? How much?
Well, I can
can
report on that. So and it's funny you bring that up because I have the local forecast, which was just forwarded to me from the Office of Emergency Management. So my prediction will be what their prediction is. The snow should begin to fall in early morning hours, just prior to sunrise. 3 to 6 inches in this area is predicted. I can tell you, based on my visit to Public Works this afternoon, that our Public Works crews are prepared. All the plows have been mounted and all the spreaders have been mounted on the equipment. They're ready to go. It looks to be a snowfall that will begin really in earnest mid-morning and end by about 8 o'clock or so tomorrow night.
And salt is no problem this year.
And salt is no problem at this current time. We have a full supply and we should be well prepared for this storm.
Thank you, Mr. Vornlacher. So we will move on to agenda item number 11, which is council discussion items. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to our master clerk, Anne Marie, who will take us through the discussion on the first item, which is the proposed 2015 Township Council meeting schedule.
Okay, so proposed for 2015, reorganization since it's an off election year, Tuesday, January 6th. Budget hearings in February. The first Tuesday would be February 3rd, and the second Monday, February 9th. And you have already discussed the council retreat, which was set for Saturday, January 31st, with a snow date of February 7th. And the regular meeting schedule is basically the second and fourth Tuesdays, except for September, because the fourth Tuesday, I think, is Yom Kippur. So I moved it to the fifth Tuesday since we had an extra Tuesday. And it kind of evens out between September, it evens out the September and October, so.
Very good.
Okay, go ahead.
Question? Deputy Mayor?
Yes.
Okay.
Councilman Vazzanello, sorry.
So we're having to reorg the first Tuesday. Does that mean we'll be having 3 meetings in January?
4 if you count the council retreat.
Oh, right, okay, but as a separate,
Yes.
Okay, and that's because we got to do the planning board and other appointments
Correct.
that need to be done that week?
Mhm.
Okay, and so you're meeting on the 6th, which should be limited to the reorganization.
Correct.
Activities.
Mhm.
The 20, no.
The
what am I
13th
saying? The
and the
13th, the
and then-
following Tuesday,
And then the
and
27th,
the 27th, and then
the 31st.
And the 31st is a Saturday or Sunday, I'm sorry?
Saturday.
Saturday, okay, so that, for what it's worth, won't interfere with any Super Bowl activities.
Mm.
We would be here to January 31st or the following snow day, the following Saturday.
Mhm.
And the public is invited. All these meetings
They're all
are
public.
open up to the public, although it's a council retreat in somewhat casual nature. It is a meeting of the public would like to come.
Correct.
Okay, everything else sounds fine. You're looking, I guess, for us to give you to go ahead for resolution, obviously based on other council members.
Based on the
Comments?
consensus, then a resolution will be on the next meeting to adopt the meeting schedule for 2015.
So are there any other council members with any other questions or comments regarding the proposed scheduled dates? All right, so then I think you can take that as consensus to bring to us a resolution at the next meeting. All right, the next topic is the draft 2015 reorganization meeting agenda. Councilman Vasanella made reference to that regarding the appointment, so go ahead, Anne Marie.
Okay, let me just open. Okay, this is the basic agenda that we've been using, I would say, the last 2 or 3 years. It's basically just the reorg, it's nominations for deputy mayor, the attorneys. Then there's a resolution that, in one resolution, has all the reappointments. And then after that would be any appointments that weren't reappointed, whatever vacancies were from this year. Then the mayor appointments, then you've got your council liaisons, your standing appointments, the reorganization, basic resolutions, and you adjourn, and that's it.
All right, thank you, Anne Marie. So any questions from any of the council members? Mr. Mayor, any questions, comments? Council members, all right, so then we'll take that as consent to use that for our agenda meeting, agenda items on our reorganization meeting scheduled for Tuesday, January 6th. Excellent. All right, next on our agenda item is number 12, which is the approval of the minutes. Presented the following minutes for approval by the Township Council. The Township Council work session regular meeting for October 14th, 2014 at 7 p.m., and also the Township Council work session regular meeting of November 10th, 2014. Do I have a motion to move forward?
So moved.
Seconded. Motioned and seconded. Anne Marie, please.
Councilman Chase?
Yes?
Councilman Kramer?
Yes.
Mayor Levine?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Regan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman?
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella?
Yes on A and abstain on B.
Okay, thank you. Moving to item 13 on the agenda, approval of warrants. Warrants in the amount of $15,550,055.90 on November 25th, 2014 are presented to Township Council for payment. Do I have a motion, please? We really do have to.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Moved and seconded. We really have to pay them. All right. Township Clerk, poll the council and note the results, please.
Councilman Chase?
Yes?
Councilman Kramer?
Yes.
Mayor Levine?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Regan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman?
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella?
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, item 14, there are no items for introduction on second reading, so we will move to item 15, which is ordinance on introduction and first reading. First one being ordinance number 4090-14, an ordinance amending the municipal code of the Township of Franklin, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey, more particularly, Chapter 13, Boards, Commissions, and Committees, Article 1, Advisory Board of Health, Section 13-1, members appointed, and Section 13.2, duties, add 2 alternate members. The foregoing ordinance is presented to the Township Council for adoption on first reading, posting, publication in accordance with law and public hearing, and final adoption on Thursday, December 11th, 2014, at 7 p.m. at the Municipal Complex. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Seconded.
Thank you. Anne Marie, please.
Councilman Chase,
Yes.
Councilman Kramer,
Yes.
Mayor Levine,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Regan,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman,
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella.
Yes.
Are you sure? Okay. All right. Next ordinance, Ordinance 4091-14, an ordinance amending the municipal code of the Township of Franklin, Somerset County, New Jersey, more particularly, Chapter 236, Municipal Services, Schedule A, Summerfields. The foregoing ordinance is presented to the Township Council for adoption on first reading, posting, publication in accordance with law and public hearing, and final adoption on Thursday, December 11th, 2014, at 7 p.m. at the Municipal Complex. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Anne Marie, please poll the members.
Councilman Chase,
Yes.
Councilman Kramer,
Yes.
Mayor Levine,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Regan,
Yes,
Councilwoman Sherman,
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella.
Yes.
thank you. Next ordinance, 4092-14, an ordinance amending the code of the Township of Franklin in the County of Somerset and the State of New Jersey, more particularly, Chapter 167, Noise Section 167-6, Restricted Uses and Activities, subsection B, 5. The foregoing ordinance is presented to the Township Council for the adoption on first reading, posting, and publication in accordance with the law and public hearing, and final adoption on Thursday, December 11th, 2014, at 7 p.m. at the Municipal Complex. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Anne Marie, please poll the members, please.
Councilman Chase,
Yes.
Councilman Kramer,
Yes.
Mayor Levine,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Regan,
Yes,
Councilwoman Sherman,
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella.
Yes.
thank you. Next ordinance, Ordinance 4093-14, an ordinance of Township of Franklin, County of Somerset, and State of New Jersey, authorizing acceptance of public access easement, Canal Walks Associate LLC and Canal Plaza LLC, docket number planning 14000111, block 513.01, lots 15.01, and block 513.47, lot 1. The foregoing ordinance is presented to the Township Council for adoption on first reading, posting, publication in accordance with law and public hearing, and final adoption on Thursday, December 11, 2014, at 7 p.m. at the Municipal Complex. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded.
Guys, I'm doing all the heavy lifting here. Come on, help me out.
Well, I'm begging.
Oh, no, I've been doing a lot of seconding.
I guess you all like Brian when he reads these things. We never-
We're used to his
I'm
voice.
begging for- All right. Ms. McCarthy, please poll council members.
Councilman Chase,
Yes.
Councilman Kramer,
Yes.
Mayor Levine,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Regan,
Yes,
Councilwoman Sherman,
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella.
Yes.
thank you. Okay, so moving on to agenda item number 16, which is consent agenda resolutions. The items A through P, as listed on the consent agenda portion of this meeting, are presented to the Township Council for adoption. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
You're going to make me ask every time. Moved and seconded. Ms. McCarthy, may I have poll, please?
Councilman Chase,
Yes.
Councilman Kramer,
Yes.
Mayor Levine,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Regan,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman,
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella.
Yes.
All right, there are next on the item is resolutions voted on separately, which there are none. Number 18, old business. Are there any appointments or recommendations, nominations for boards and commissions? Hearing none, the next item is executive session, which there isn't any. So at this point, I guess I'll have to beg for this too. Is there a
So
motion
moved.
to adjourn?
Ted,
Moved in
unanimous
second, all in
over the-
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
A world record before
Opposed.
8 o'clock. It is.
2 in a row.
Motion is carried. The meeting is adjourned. All right.
A little before 8.